Hello friends, welcome to my new podcast episode where I'm going to talk about knitting, about my finished project, about my designs, about work in progress, and also about knitting techniques, tutorials, and recent news from Vitalina Craft. So let's start with my favorite finished top for 2026. It's Brixie West, which I knitted and textured stitch. I think I showed the process of knitting of this vest to you in my previous video. And I'm happy to say that this top is finished now, and I'm absolutely happy with how it turned out. I even was able to wear this top to my holiday to Spain this year. Unfortunately, here in the UK, we've got quite cold summer this year. For some reason, it's keep raining. It's quite cold. I keep wearing my coat, so I'm happy that I already had a chance to wear this one on my holiday. So as I said, I'm really happy how this top is turned out. As you can see, it has slightly cropped length, V-neck opening, and it has no sleeves. Although I've got tiny buttons here, I decided not to create buttonholes in my vest. Instead, I joined front parts with a few stitches and decorated places of stitches with tiny pearl buttons, but pattern has option for buttonholes as well. Also, as you can see, I finished edge band of cardigan and armholes with bands in stocking stitch. They are reversible or double-sided. You can see I've got very neat finish from both sides, right side and from the wrong side. Although edge bands for sleeves and for front bands looks a bit different because I used two different methods. By the way, I added 3 different methods of finishing for edge bands to my pattern, starting from very simple one and finishing with advanced ones. And also I recorded 3 video tutorials for all those types of edge finishing and added them to my YouTube channel. Even if you don't plan to knit this top, I highly recommend you to check those video tutorials because they're really great for finishing any bands, for any project, for sweaters, for tops, for cardigans. Some of them can be easily used for reversible projects because, as I already showed you, they look nice from both sides, and also it's very nice place to hide yarn ends invisibly. So your wrong side can look very neat and accurate. You can see. So all my yarn ends hidden inside of edge bands. Also, what I want to say about this vest. I think this design is unisex because one of my test knitters, Renata from Japan, she decided to knit this vest for her husband. Of course, she added buttonholes. As I said, instructions for buttonholes is also added to the pattern. And she used tweed effect yarn, and her top or her vest is turned out very beautiful. I highly recommend you to check her page and see her project. Also, this vest has no side seams, so you can see stitch goes around beautifully. No any distortion or destruction. So there are just shoulder seams because I wanted to make some shoulder shaping for a better fit. This is my favorite project. Also, I want to briefly mention about top which I showed you last time. It's Garden Picnic Top Mini. This top I knitted for my smaller daughter, and this is mini version of my Garden Picnic top. All tops, including Brixie West, are knitted with the same yarn, and I think I mentioned about this yarn recently. It's Crea Deluxe Organic Cotton. It's spot weight yarn. It's one of the best, or it's one of my favorite yarns for the summer. And another knitted project which I want to show you today, it's my recent design. It's knitted slippers in lacy stitch, and I call the pattern Tiny Tulips slippers because those little bubbles, I would say bubbles, remind me tulip boots. So I think Tiny Tulips is a lovely name for this pattern. The slippers are quite easy to knit. The knitting starts from heel flap, then we need to shape round heel section, and then knit the sole section and the toe. To the slippers I decided to add a bit of decorating shaping, which I think creates quite beautiful effect. Looks pretty and also easy to knit. The last step for knitting of slippers is edge band. It's double layered. The slippers designed with quite tight edge band, so they can be worn without elastic. For this pair I added elastic just to show how it looks with it and how to insert elastic inside. But I've got pair of slippers here with the same edge band, and you can see it's calculated and designed quite tight. You can see the opening is not so big, so they would stay on your feet without any extra measures. By the way, elastic can be replaced with probably narrow lace. It's not my idea, but it's my test knitter Ariel who decided to add lace, to add a bit more romantic details to her pair of slippers. So she just added lace, made a bow, and it looks very pretty. Yeah, as you can see, some ideas come from my test knitters. This is one of reasons why I like working with people, with test knitters from different parts of the world, with different backgrounds, because they've got, maybe some of them have got more experience than I am, and they got another view to knitting, to their projects. They've got different styles, so sometimes they come up with lovely ideas and help to see my designs from different sides. So yeah, a bit more details about these slippers. As you can see, the bigger part of slippers is knitted in stocking stitch. So here, heel shaping, a bit of decorative shaping on a sole, and small part, top part of toe section is knitted with lacy stitch. This lacy stitch is quite easy to memorize and easy to knit. It just standard decreases like knit two together, slip slip knit, 3 stitches together, and yarn over. So that's it. And just knit and purl stitches. So it's very easy technique and quite fast to knit. So this is another project which I like, which I'm happy for how it's turned out. And as I said, pattern tested, published, and also there is a full video tutorial for very similar slippers, which are just knitted with different stitch on the top part. So if you're interested, you can check video tutorial for other slippers. It's free and it's full length tutorial, and you can find it on my channel. So as soon as I finished knitting those slippers, I decided to knit a matching socks, and recently I finished a pair of socks, and I just opened test knit. By the way, I think I still looking for test knitters for the smallest child size and for the biggest adult size. So if you're interested, you can check my Ravelry group and maybe join the test knit. So yes, socks knitted with the same stitch. As I said, it's quite easy to memorize and to knit the stitch. And I think I forgot to mention what yarn I used for my slippers, and it was Merino Sock Superwash yarn from Yarn Smith. This is Merino Wool Nylon blend, and as I said, it's superwash, and this yarn is quite smooth. I would say that this yarn is a little bit thinner than other socks yarn, and this makes this yarn perfect for summer socks, for lace socks and for summer socks. So if you're looking for a good yarn for summer socks, you can check this yarn. This is the label. Again, this is Merino Sock Superwash from Yarn Smith. By the way, this is brand. I think this brand belongs to Wool Warehouse, which is UK yarn store. And for these socks, I used Drops Nord. I think many of you know this yarn. It's this yarn is quite popular between knitters, and it's quite budget friendly, and it also knits up beautifully. But this yarn is more hairy, and I think this yarn, yeah, Drops Nord, it has 45% of alpaca, 30% of polyester, and 25% of wool. Honestly speaking, I would say that this yarn is a little bit itchy, but I'm okay with it. So if you don't like itchy yarn, you can keep it in mind. But this yarn still shows the pattern beautifully. But I think this pair of socks in Drops Nord would be better for probably for beginning of autumn, probably, or for early spring, because it's definitely much warmer than those slippers. The socks are knitted from calf down. They have similar heel shaping as the slippers, and yeah, and pattern comes in sizes from child to big adult. Also, I decided to repeat those socks in the same yarn which I used for my slippers, and already started knitting first sock with this yarn. You can see it's beautiful light mint shade. And this time I think I'm going to knit short socks. I'm finished knitting the ribbon section, and I plan to knit probably one repeat for the cuff and then start working on heel shaping. We'll see how it goes. I don't know why I didn't came with this idea when I was designing the socks, because I could need just one full length sock and one short sock. But you know, some ideas come just when you finished something. So maybe I will be able to complete this pair quite quickly and try to wear this at summertime. So I think that's it for socks. Yes, and next project which I want to show you, it's another summer top. Well, this project knitted with the same yarn, with same cotton yarn which I knitted my all recent summer tops and which I showed you just before my socks. And this top took me really long time to knit. I don't know why. Maybe because I started this quite late last summer and then lost my interest to it because it was obvious that summer is finishing. I won't be able to complete the top, so I just placed this project aside and decided to finish it quickly this summer. As you can see, this top is knitted with lacy horizontal lines. I would say that this stitch is quite easy as well, and this is not new design. This is just second top which I decided to knit. The previous one was knitted in bright fuchsia shade and it was a bit shorter, and I would say it was a bit more narrow than this one. So I decided to knit this one a bit longer to make it probably more wearable. And you can see this top has no sleeves. It has quite deep armholes, round neck, and quite simple edge finishing along armholes and around neckband. To make this type of armholes or neck finishing, you need just pick up stitches around your neck opening, for example, knit a few rounds, and especially I like the look of very edge of edge band. You can see I knitted few rounds in stocking stitch, then one purl round, another knit round, and then I bound off all stitches. I did the same for armholes. This method helps to prevent rolling of stocking fabric and create quite beautiful edge. Also, I made splits along side edges, and this top is great for hot summer. I hope we will have another heat wave here in the UK, so I will have chance to wear all my summer tops. Again, as I said, this top knitted with cotton yarn in spot weight, and knitting pattern is available from Ravelry. Pattern name is Glam Rock Top. The next project is also the long one, and it's my work in progress, and it's my mohair sweater or blouse. For some reason I decided that I need very lightweight sweater for summertime. As I said, summer is not very hot or warm here in the UK, so sometimes you need like second layer or something which you can take with you which doesn't take a lot of space in your bag, or which is quite lightweight, so you can grab it and wear if you need it. This is, honestly speaking, my first experience when I decided to knit mohair yarn without any additional main yarn. And honestly speaking, I did not expect that it would be so complicated. I have problem on every single stage. First, it took me some time to find correct needles which I want to use, because normally if you add mohair yarn to any other yarn, you just take bigger needles and knit it quickly. But for this one, I think I tried about 4 or 5 sizes of needles. I was just using bigger and bigger, trying bigger needles until I got the correct gauge, and stitches still were okay. Then I was thinking about, should I knit it seamless or should I add some seams? Okay, with side seams it's okay, because you normally use mattress stitch, it's quite invisible and easy to use. But with shoulder shaping, it was totally different task. First, I wanted to make short rows shaping. I tried it. Fun fact, I tried this on a sample, and on a sample everything looked fine. But when I knitted body of sweater and done my shoulder seams, I just didn't like the look of place where you've got wrapped stitch. Then I tried German short rows, and every time I saw slightly distorted stitches which I didn't like. So I decided just rip it back and try to work shoulder shaping using bind off method. So here I came with another problem, because I had very tight stitches while doing bind off. So normally I use bigger needle to bind off stitches more loosely, because I'm tight knitter, but this didn't help. So I had to control every stitch to make sure it stays long enough and don't over tight. So here was another difficult task. Next task was a neckband. I didn't want to make any ribbon. I wanted something plain and simple, and I needed to close to hide neck edge somehow. By the way, I still didn't close edge of bind off. So I decided to pick up stitches from right side and from wrong side and knit neckband similar to my Brixie West. Oh my god, it was so hard. First of all, it's mohair yarn, it's very thin, and I had difficulty to see stitches properly. Looks like my eyes getting a bit worse, so I've got difficulty to see stitches properly, especially when the yarn is so thin. And then, as I said, I tried a few methods, and I think I managed to knit and make the edge band just from third effort, because I had very tight neckband, I had not very even stitches, so it took me 3 times to try to make a proper neckband. And also what was difficult, so even I mastered how to unravel mohair yarn. I remember I even did a video about this. It still was quite a disaster because I needed to unravel it few times. Yeah, but I've done it, and then I switched to the sleeves. First, I wanted to make a long sleeve sweater, but in the middle of knitting, my daughter said that she loves how it looks with short sleeves, and because as you can see here, quite low dropped shoulder, I think like middle length sleeve looks beautiful. And here, luckily, I managed to knit the cuff beautifully from the first time. Here I didn't pick up stitches, I just mastered another technique for knitting double layered cuff. I think I will record a video and show you how to do this because it's quite easy. It's much easier than all my previous methods which I used for any other tops, and it also creates double layered edge. So now I completed one sleeve and now all I need to finish another sleeve. Then I think I will pick up stitches and add matching bottom band. As you can see, sometimes when you've got idea of design, you still don't have all details to complete it. So it takes very long time. I'm not sure if this sample can be used for pattern. Probably I need to think about how to simplify this design and knit another sample. We'll see. I need to finish this sample first and try to make it this design a bit easier. Maybe I need to avoid shoulder shaping and start, I mean shoulder shaping with bind offs or short rows, and maybe change construction from bottom up to top down and to create seamless sweater, because side seams are not necessary. Shoulder seams, honestly speaking, provide a bit more stability to constructions because, as you can see, this yarn is quite stretchy, and if you don't have shoulder seams, it can become longer with time. I don't know. I need more experience and more trials to understand how mohair yarns work, because if using this for with another yarn, I already knitted shawls with this. I added mohair to silk yarn to make it more suitable and easy to knit. I tried mohair with some alpaca, wool yarn, merino yarn to make sweater warmer, thicker and faster to knit, but this is totally different experience and takes so much time, so many efforts. So I hope to complete this sweater soon and share more experience and maybe some techniques how to work with mohair yarn. If you've got some useful advice, or knitting tips, how to work with solar mohair yarn, let me know, because as you can see, despite on my big knitting experience, so many published patterns, I'm still learning new techniques, trying new techniques and trying to understand different yarns, fibers, textures, designs. Yes, and what I want to say about the yarn. The yarn is Crea Deluxe Silk Mohair, and this yarn is 45% of silk, 33% of mohair, and 22% of baby alpaca. And the ball of yarn has 20 grams and 240 meters. Label instructions says that you need to hand wash this, do not tumble dry, do not iron. So yeah, it's quite delicate yarn, it's beautiful, and it's create very beautiful fabric. And I think I knitted this sweater on, oh actually I've got needles here and I can say the size. It's 4.5 millimeters. So yeah, I think I started trying my swatches with 3 millimeter needles, 3.25, 3 and 5, and until I got the gauge I liked. Also, first I wanted to knit this in other color and using I think Drops Kid Silk. But after knitting a few swatches, I decided that I like look of this fabric more, because this yarn creates more even and more beautiful stitches. So I will try to complete this project maybe in next few weeks and hope to share more information with you. Let me know what you think about knitting with mohair, and do you like sweaters or any other garment knitted in mohair? I know that mohair is quite great yarn for using of shawls or maybe large scarves, large lacy scarves, but it looks great for lightweight summer sweaters, blouses, tops as well. I just need a bit more experience. I think that's it for today. I think those lacy socks, lacy short socks will be my last project for the summer, unless I came up with any other great idea. But at the moment I plan to finish my mohair sweater, this pair of socks, and probably start planning and thinking about winter knitting, about new winter designs, and I'm thinking about knitting new poncho for my girls. We'll see how it goes, but summer is definitely a very short season, and there is no chance that you can knit many projects, complete many projects, and chance to wear them as well. Because if you're talking about winter sweaters or autumn sweaters, we definitely have more time to knit them, to wear them, and to enjoy them. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you for watching to the end. I hope you can give me some advice about mohair yarn, and probably share your thoughts and comments about my designs which I showed you. And yeah, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, watch my previous video tutorials. I hope to share more tutorials soon, more full-time video tutorials for some garments, maybe for next poncho or for some techniques. So take care, and until next time, happy knitting!